To begin, you will need an embroidery hoop loaded with the fabric of your choice as well as the pattern that you would like to transfer. You'll also need a light source, so I'm using my iPad screen here. You can also use your laptop screen, a window, or even a light table if you have one. And of course, you'll need the Frixion Erasable gel pen. So I got mine online from Staples. You might be able to find them in store. You can also find them on Amazon or from other hand embroidery artists or shops online, like on Etsy as well. Once your pattern is transferred, you'll also need a heat source like a blow dryer, a straightener, or an iron would work as well. To start, I have my iPad open to a blank page and I'm turning the brightness all the way up. This will help me be able to see through to my pattern much more easily. And so here I'm taking my pattern, placing it on my iPad, and then I am going to place my loaded embroidery hoop on top of that. And I want to line it up and make sure it's nice and centered and where I want it to be in place. I'm just going to start transferring away as normal, like if you would use a normal pencil or a permanent marker. Now I'm actually kind of moving my screen up to a little bit of a darker place because I'm surrounded by such great light in this video. It is really hard to see through that, and so I do recommend, if you're using a light table, it does help to dim the lights or turn the lights off and then transfer in the dark. It's just a bit easier to see. And so what I'm doing here is I'm tracing it, and as you can tell, I'm not just doing one stroke, I'm doing a couple strokes back and forth. I think I do this maybe because it's my fabric. I'm using a cotton linen blend, and so it kind of feels like there's more crevices or holes that my pen can kind of go into, maybe as opposed to 100% cotton fabric, which is like more smooth. You can just kind of gauge whatever you need to do, if you can see with one little stroke, or maybe you need to go back and forth a couple of times, so you determine that. I actually started out embroidery using a permanent marker, which totally works. It's just a lot more stressful because, like, if you mess up, you messed up, and pretty much your embroidery hoop is like ruined because you can't get that marker out. And so the beauty of the Frixion Erasable gel pen is once you do mark up your hoop, or if you do make a mistake, like, you don't have to worry at all because the blow dryer or the heat source you have will remove all of the ink. It will take it away and you'll be left with a very clean blank canvas. So that is the beauty of the Frixion Erasable gel pen, and that's why it's so popular, is because it is so forgiving and it really does take a lot of stress off of having to achieve a picture perfect transfer. So here is what my hoop looks like once it's nice and transferred. You can see all my lines clearly, and so this is ready to be used and to start stitching on. And so what I would do is actually untwist the knob here and then flip my fabric so that the pattern is on the correct side, and then I'd start stitching. I'd also throw in an extra layer of fabric on the base just to make it a little bit more sturdy and less see-through. So let's say I'm done stitching, or let's say I didn't like my transfer. How I'm going to get rid of these lines is I'm going to take my blow dryer and I'm just going to switch it to on, and I'm going to come close to my fabric and to the ink and just start swirling it around to remove those lines. And you will see as I go around the hoop, the ink just magically disappears, and that at its core really is the beauty of the Frixion Erasable gel pen. It's so convenient, so easy, and it's so forgiving, making it so much less of a stress for transferring. Because I don't know about you, but transferring is honestly not one of my favorite things to do, so if there's anything that can make it easier, this is one of those things. Now, when using this pen, it is important to note that it should only be used for lighter color fabrics, because if you were to use this on a darker color fabric, and then when it comes to this stage of blow drying the ink off, it actually, like, it will remove the ink, but it will leave a white mark for everywhere that ink was on your fabric. So you want to use this just for lighter color fabrics. If you found this video helpful, would you go ahead and hit that like button? And as always, my friends, until next time, happy stitching!